Hey, how you doing, vinyl community? Tony here. Tony's LPSRUS. I put a table in here so I could do this quick video for you guys. It's Beatle related. I was going through my Beatles stuff after I did the Yoko video. I wanted to straighten out and get some things in order. And what I would do through the years is if I found a Beatle related LP, I would just stick it in with the Beatles. And what I did was I actually took them apart today, separated them, put them in a little bit better order. And I found I have quite a bit of Beatle records that are not actually Beatle records. There's some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are complete rip-offs of the Fab Four. And I want to show them to you now. Here we have this one, Greatest Hits, the original Greatest Hits. Now, this is actually a complete bootleg. I pulled this out first. I didn't know when I bought it, but it's a bootleg of Introducing the Beatles. So this is on Greatest Records 1964. So this is a true rip-off, counterfeit, as you can see there. So that's pretty rare. I've only seen the one. Here we have Chet Atkins picks on the Beatles, and this is produced by Chet. This is on RCA. This has A Hard Day's Night, She's a Woman and I Love Her, She Loves You. So this is very early. I would think 66 on down maybe. And that's the backside. Here we have another one called The Beatles Beat. This is kind of split. And this is the Beatle Beat on Coronet Records, which I believe was New York City. And this is in true stereo. Is the finest quality stereophonic record available. And they've actually ripped off the Meet the Beatles type of cover with the silhouettes all in black. And this is I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Bugs. This has some original things on it. Soho Mash, Teddy Boy Stomp, and I Want to Hold Your Hand, She Loves You. So that's the Beatles Beat. Here we have one that's still sealed, haven't played it. Koto, The Beatles. This is a Japanese pressing made in Japan. This has Here Comes the Sun, In My Life, Here, There, and Everywhere, Norwegian Wood, Obla Di, Obla Da, No Reply, A Day in the Life, If I Fell, and I Love Her. So this has 16 tracks on it. And this is the Koto Ensemble. And there's the back with the songs in Japanese and in English. Pretty rare. Here we have a fun looking record. Happiness is a Happy Time record. And you can see that there. It's kind of reflecting. This is Yellow Submarine. Don't know what's on it. Picked it up for the cover. It has Yellow Submarine on it. That's the only Beatle track. Here we have something that you've all seen. Golden Throats, a ripoff of Sgt. Pepper. And this actually has Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, William Shatner. And that's the only Beatle track on here. But obviously the cover is Sgt. Pepper's. This is pretty much available online. It says 14 unbelievable performances. You're betting you're definitely unbelievable. Here's another one, Beatles Beat in Better Condition. This is actually a mono. This is a cornet. And this was supposedly recorded in England, which I doubt. Let's see what that looks like. Here's the cornet label. Shows up nicely, doesn't reflect. And I also have today a featured section, the OG pressing that I think has really great audiophile qualities. It's mind-blowing bass, mind-blowing stage, sound stage, and all together air within the instruments. And it's a domestic pressing. Here's a cool one. She Loves You. The Liverpool Kids, Beatle Mash, and Beatle is spelled Beattle. And the back, the liner notes indicate the Liverpool Mop Tops. These four young men, who with a group of excellent musicians have adopted the style of beating, the hottest craze in show business on either side of the Atlantic. Articles on Beatlemania, which have taken the place of rock and roll, have appeared in Time, Newsweek, and the New York Times. To give you an idea how strong this craze is, a small film clip on the Jack Parr show of the original artist resulted in the sale of over 1 million albums. I wonder how they figured that one out. But this is a rare one. This is pretty cool. This is on Pass, the Liverpool Kids. There's only 3 of them. And here we have a nice one. François Glorot plays the Beatles. And this is a keyboard player. This is on Vanguard. This is considered jazz. This has Yesterday in a style of Chopin. This has Can't Buy Me Love in the style of Gershwin. This has Obladi Oblada in the style of Mozart. This has Hey Jude in the style of Bach. This has Michelle in the style of Ravel. And this has Girl, Obladi Oblada in the style of Brahms. And then we have Debussy in My Life, Eleanor Rigby, which is in a Baroque style, I believe. So this still has a shrink. It's a little cover of Abbey Road, which reminds me, I'm going to pull this out. I have another Abbey Road cover. Let's see if I can find it here. Let me see. And that's this one, New York City, Soulful Road. This is still sealed. This has no Beatles songs on it, but the cover is, reminiscent of another famous cover. And this is conducted by Tom Bell, California on Chelsea. And this is a pretty good Photoshop. It's actually the Volkswagen is there, but you can't see the license plate, and they're going the other way. So Soulful Road by New York City, or New York City's Soulful Road. And this is factory sealed, so it's a pretty cool one. We have them dressed in the outfits, George, Ringo, John, and Paul. And Paul actually has a cigarette in his hand, and he's barefoot. Here's a nice one, the Baroque Beatles. The Baroque Beatles book, The Royal Beatle Works, Music. MBA, 1963, has different variations. Last Night I Said, Please Please Me. It has some German tunes, 8 Days a Week, Thank You Girl, all tunes, John Lennon, Paul McCartney. And this has a letter by John on here in the back. I'm not sure what the genesis is of that, but this is actually a Paul Rothchild production. So this has some pedigree to it. And here's the back. You can see that. Hope you can see that. It's kind of glary. This is a cool item here. I wanted to show this. I got this at the record store where I worked. This supposedly is the only promo 8-track that was not listed, that was not released as a promo album. And that's the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl, the original 1977 edition. This is a promo. It has Twist and Shout, Dizzy Miss Lizzy, Ticket to Ride, Things We Said Today, She Loves You. And this is the only time that a record was not issued as a promo and only an 8-track. And in here I also have a cassette among my cassettes of Beatles Red. But this is extremely rare. And I'll show you the back. Back is blank. In-store promotion. I got this from a record shop, 1977. And this is something I picked up while crate digging. This actually works, but with the glare and the lights, you can't see it. It spins, and it's almost like a lava lamp, but it's from Yellow Submarine. So some Beatles stuff I pulled out. Here's a classic that's still available, Stars on 45. And what this is actually, one side is all Beatles and one side is 50s rock and roll. And it's an uncanny reproduction of Beatles songs that blend into each other, and it fits on one side. You know, each track is maybe 30 seconds, 15 seconds. You're going to lose that girl, 14 seconds. The Word, 24 seconds. You Can't Do That, 27 seconds. Things We Said Today, 35 seconds. Taxman, 26 seconds. But this is fabulous. They also have a classical, Stars on Classical, 45. But you could pick this up. This is still available. Here's a cool one. These sound great. This is London Records. Crackersfield plays the Beatles songbook. Frank Crackersfield and his orchestra. And this is engineered by Arthur Lilly. I've seen his name on a few of these type of records. This has Get Back, Hard Day's Night, Old Blood D, Old Blood Da come together. Here's the cover, very psychedelic. Has a nice gatefold with the what to listen for. On these records, these are all audiophile quality. Here we have a cool one. The New Beatles Songbook. I guess back in '66, these songs were considered new. The Night Before, Ticket to Ride, Norwegian Wood, Help, We Can Work It Out, Day Tripper. There's about 11 tracks on here. And this is the New Beatles Songbook conducted by Stu Phillips on Capitol. And on the back, they also advertised the Beatles Songbook and the Beatles Songbook 2, which is from the same series. If you can see, that's probably a Rainbow Capitol, I would think. Check it out, original inner. And that's a nice Rainbow Capitol. The Holly Ridge Strings, the Beatles Songbook, the New Beatles Songbook. Here we have a cool one still in shrink, Sgt. Pepper, Lonely Clarksville Band. And on the back, they warn you, not the original soundtrack. This came out, I believe, when the movie was released. The Beatle movie with Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees. This is on Pickwick, 1978. And the front also says not the original soundtrack. Music from the motion picture. I'm not sure if this is actually the artist on the record, the soundtrack or not. Here's the Pickwick label or sleeve. And this was really fun because I found a lot of things I didn't remember I had. So we have all these here to show you guys. And it doesn't say the performers on here, but that's that there. Here I have another one, which was an early one, Ramsey Lewis, Mother Nature's Son. And here he does Beatle tunes, Rocky Raccoon, Julia, Back in the USSR. So this is after the White Album, after '68. This is superb. This is on Cadet Records, a jazz label. And I've had this since high school, I believe. And there's the Cadet label. Here we have another Sgt. Pepper on Springboard. Everyone's capitalizing here. It's the Beatles sold, no matter what. You know, grandmother would come in, oh, my grandson loves the Beatles. My granddaughter loves the Beatles. And, oh, no, Grandma, this isn't the Beatles. This is performed by Abbey Road 78, okay? A 2-record set on Springboard. Who even knows if Springboard paid royalties? But this is pretty cool. It has everything from Abbey Road, a bunch of things from Sgt. Pepper, Abbey Road at When I'm 64. I Want You, She's So Heavy. And here's a nice one. Arthur Fiedler, Boston Pops, play the Beatles on Dynagroove. Eleanor Rigby, and this sounds pretty good. I actually remember playing this. This is A Hard Day's Night. It only tracks in 4, 6. It only tracks in about 13, 14 minutes aside. And that's that there. Here's a nice one. Hits of the Beatles. Current Event. This is by the band Current Event. So there were a bunch of session guys who were very talented and got hired, and they put together a Beatle record. Penny Lane, Michelle, Here Comes the Sun, Obla Di, Obla Da. So this is probably circa 69, 70, 68. And that's that one. This is on Ambassador Records. Let me see what that looks like. That's a blue Ambassador label. Really nice raw blue. Here we have another Stars on 45, which is in shrink. So that's what I have for today. And these are all Beatle records that aren't really Beatle records. So let me go over to the top of the TV, and I have a Beatle Disciple up here, which is Harry Nilsson. This is Nilsson Schmilsson. And this has the hype, and it's the original inner and original shrink. And this record is on Dynaflex, RCA Dynaflex, and needs 180 gram, 200 gram records. Nobody, because this sounds fantastic. This is near mint. Everything up there is fantastic. The record weighs, maybe 110 grams, 100 grams. Here's the poster, I believe, that comes with it. He's just dressed up for the occasion. Nice robe. Pretty cool. But if you could pick this up, this was just done on a MoFi, I believe. It was out of print immediately. But this has one of the tracks I always play for people, which ends up them going to their phones if they don't have it, is Jump Into the Fire with bass by Herbie Flowers. And what he does is, as he's playing the tune, he detunes his bass all the way down to lower octaves, and it just sounds amazing. This has everything on it. Gotta Get Up, Coconut, Without You, produced by Richard Perry, Trident Studios, June 71. Engineer was Robin Godfrey Gable. And a special thanks to Doug Sachs, who I believe who cut it. So that's the sound right there. Between Trident and Doug Sachs, it's stellar. So that's about it. Hope you like it. Hope you can subscribe. We're starting to get more and more subscriptions. And if you think about a topic, fill me in. I'll try to show you some things that you may normally not see, or if you have, maybe it's a variation of some of the albums you have. But thanks a lot. I'm just going to get up and shut this computer down. Appreciate it. Keep rocking. Tony's LPSRUS signing out. Stay safe. Ciao.